So Zab had an amazing panel with Adventures with Purpose and Ryan Upchurch on panel. Bella, Verna, and Hellfire Club were also on panel. I'm going to put the video link in the description for you to check it out if you choose to. I think you should. It's an awesome interview, and it's way longer than this little video I'm doing here. And bear with me, this is the first time I'm doing this, and I'm actually have like my iPad and a little bucket thing to hold it up. But when I move to my new place, our new house, it will have an office, and I'll have a mic and more separation, so there's not so much noise in the background. But the first question he answers, or thing he addresses, that I have clipped here, is the Facebook post, or alleged Facebook post, that was shared by Kylie's mom. It's a little bad, or negative. However, anger is a part of the grieving process, and he's extremely respectful in his response to it. So here's the post. It says, "Let it be known that Adventures with Purpose has not contacted me or Tony a single time throughout this ordeal. Not to offer condolences, not when the car was discovered, not once. I'm so tired of hearing how wonderful they are, when all they have done is make a spectacle out of my daughter's death on their quest to make themselves heroes. They are not and will never be my hero. This is meant to be our story, not theirs. Please do not give them pen or allow them authorship."
Message from the mom is from her real account. I don't know if it is or not. I don't fault her, and I don't blame her at all, because everybody will go through a grieving process differently. So, one thing that we don't do is we don't reach back out to families for a pat on the back. We move on to the next case to go help the next family. And we've been invited to, probably 60-70% of the cases that we have solved to come be a part of the memorial, and we turn every single one of them down. And the reason for it is that is not our day to come and be the showman and hey, we were the heroes in this to solve this for you. This is your special day with your family to honor and remember your lost loved one. And we're not here to distract and take anything away from them.
The next part is him answering questions about the windows and how they were all, does he say mostly intact? Maybe one was broken, otherwise they were all intact, and the flipping of the car is what broke them. And later on, he talks about the tow truck, which you'll only have seen if you pay for the members video, which it comes out for everyone on Friday. There's an interview with a tow driver that allegedly saw Kylie the morning of the party around 11 a.m. or noon, or the morning after. So it's a little confusing and definitely changes the timeline and scenarios of things. And how he describes the two people he saw, the guy and the girl he believes to be Kylie, is concerning.
Yeah, and so, a lot of people were speculating, well, the windows are broken out, and, I think there's only one that wasn't broken. Well, that was because the vehicle was flipped back over while it was underwater to then pull it out. Whereas, those of you who've seen the members-only video, you'll see that, most of all the windows were up and intact at that moment in time when it was underwater. So, that we have cut out of the video. If certain things do happen, I'll just announce it right here. We have 2 other videos to be released if certain things do take place, and it's just going to be a whole, nobody knew this footage even existed from the tow truck driver, but we have the full uncut, raw, complete interview with him, as well as his girlfriend, who is a nurse. They are credible, stand-up people. They tracked us down. It was, the rolling billboard of AWP, and just seeing us pulling off of the interstate at Best Buy that first night that we got in town. We didn't track them down. It was just they saw us, just a chance encounter, and they tracked us down, and we had the interview with them, which is why we...
This next part is him talking about how the car was found and just saying what he can about it without saying too much.
The car and floating, and if somebody's involved or not. Like I said, if somebody is, we have the entire interview, which will just be like, you're going to be blown away with that one.
So it's going to be jaw-dropping. That's crazy.
As well as the full interaction with Dad and Grandpa, right there at Lakeside, versus what we cut down. We hope it's not true. We hope there's nothing more than an accident, but we don't know. At this point, we're all speculating as to what's presented before us right now. So in the next part, he describes finding her in the very back, and he talks about how he discussed it with his wife. And from a lot of the scenarios I've seen of water or cars going into water, sometimes the person is forced to the back of the vehicle while trying to get out because of the rush of the water.
However, it does not sound like that's the case in this scenario. It sounds like because of how little the area is, it would have been somewhat of a struggle to get back there, even if on purpose. He describes it by going like this with his hands, which indicates very little room to me. And that made me really sad to hear. So, yeah.
You know, we can now confirm, we can put it out there publicly. Yes, she was in the back of the car. Now, the question that my wife came to me is, for me, the back is the back, you know, but my wife, you know, said, what part of the back? Well, she wasn't in the back seat. She was in the back. Okay. And so now when you start breaking this down, again, just speculation, even though she is a small gal, you only have so much space.
A little space.
You also have that this car is not sinking in the same way that a car with the windows up are going to sink, which would be a 2 to 10 minute float. And then the car, you know, drops down. You have plenty of, you know, air in there that's going to give you time to think about how you're going to escape with putting windows down versus a window that is down, which now you have nothing trapping the air, which means the vehicle is going to go under much quicker and not.
What's the time? Jared,
by the way, that's a really cool video you put out that shows people how to get out of cars, bro. I watched that, and dude, I will never forget that knowledge.
It was very helpful. I agree, Ryan. Yeah,
that's awesome.
20 to 30 seconds. You know, if the windows are open, the car does not have long, so you don't have much time to react at all. You're not going to get doors open. You know, at the moment you end up with 4 inches of water pressure against the door, that door is not coming open.
Don't you have?
Now this next part is a clip from the members only video that I got from a different channel, and it's going to sound a little strange because it was extremely sped up on the channel, so I slowed it down and I put subtitles to it. And it's the tow truck driver, which if you haven't watched the video, you haven't heard, who describes having seen Kylie the day of the party or the morning after the party at 11 or noon. In the AM, noon would be PM. And he describes his encounter with them. And I think he works for AAA, it was said, but now it's being speculated because of him having described the guy that was with who he thinks is Kylie wearing a San Francisco hat, and then Jagger having worn the same hat during the news interview. A lot of people are speculating that it was him. I think I heard that the identity of the guy has been confirmed. I might have heard that wrong, but the identity of the female has not been yet. So not by law enforcement, at least. So everyone is entitled to reach their own conclusion from that information, and it's all speculation on my part.
The guy there that was with her at time being, he was wearing a black San Francisco, flat top, ball cap, facing forwards. Brown hair that was sticking out just a little bit on the sides. It was kind of like they were both kind of at unease, is what it looked like for me. Like as if either they had a crazy night or a crazy day, or there's something going on I couldn't know, and at the time I didn't realize what was going on. But other than that, he was, a thinner built guy is the best way I could put it, with a bro tank, and it was a white bro tank. He had some freckles on his face, or maybe it was acne or whatnot, but it was on both sides of his face. He was also a little bit shorter than me, so I'm 6'3".